All right, guys, I welcome you all to today's class. Today's class, we're going to basically deal with three major activities, or three major focus. We're going to set up our resource, assign the different resource, both material and human resource, and we're going to track our costing. Also, going to set up our baseline. Do you understand? Yes, we're going to set up our baseline as well. So, but from the previous class we did, we were able to build our Gantt chart, which is this. Able to build our Gantt chart. We imported our different tax activities. You understand? Which is this. We set up our duration. We set up our started and our finish date. We set up our predecessor. We also set up our WBS over here, right? Oh no, mind, don't worry about this color. I just thought of putting it to make our stuff look nice. And one way for you to do that is just for you to highlight this. Come to your tax, come to this side, then you click white. Everything is white. Go back to white, then you go back to color. What did I just do? So you click here, then go back to your color. Yeah. So this is how you just input type. You put color in your resource your activities. All right, so since we're done with that, let us move to the next focus for today's class. So like I said, you come to your resource. Yeah, your resource is here is empty. All right, so for you to get your resource, either you click this guy here, or you come to this side of the sheet. Left click your mouse. Now you come to resource sheet. So here is our Gantt sheet, right? Left click your mouse, and here is our resource sheet. So that's how you can set up your resource sheets and also assign different resource. All right, then we'll go to our resource from our work package. Then you highlight your your human resource. Then you put copy and paste. All right, so also you go to your material, highlight it, copy and paste. Alright, since we are done with this, so let's set up our standard rate for our material, our human resource. Standard rate for human resource. I think should we use this guy? Okay, let's use this one. Standard rate, then you see standard rate here. Come here, highlight it. Okay, so what else are we going to do? Mm, okay, alright. Everybody here's work. I think we should put this guy at cost. Why cost? Because he is basically going to come and do his job at the end of the project. Do you understand? Why this other guy is basically work with the company? Do you understand? This other guy is more like an external person, individual that is coming to inspect the work we've done so far. Do you understand? Probably a government agency, or yeah, a government agency. Yeah. All right. So that would be that. And also electrician sales to be 300. All right, so let us go straight to the material resource. This is our material resource here. So we copy this, we set up this unit. So everything here, we change everything to material. First and first. Alright. Sorry, cost. Material. Material. Alright, so then we come here and push this guy. We're done with that. Then our unit cost. Let our unit cost come here and input our unit cost. Wow. So everybody's going to work. From our human resource, I think electrician we're going to make them 400. It shows 4 people working. Likely reduce or likely reduce. Right, this standard rate is basically what you are paying those individual per hour. Now you can see here this is dollar, not naira. So which means that in Nigeria currency, naira, we can't definitely pay these people 150 $150 or $950 except it is a company that works with dollar. But if the a Nigerian company that works with Nigerian naira, I think we'll change everything here. With if it was a Nigerian company using a Nigerian naira, they are definitely going to use a Nigerian naira, and we're not going to use this particular rate. Do you understand? No, we're not going to use this particular rate. We can't pay an electrician or his project manager $150 in naira as a Nigerian company. Do you understand? Prorated. No, let me change this back to cost first of all, and put it here. Change prorated. Change it to end of the project. Right, end of the project. Okay. I think we are done with setting up our resource sheet. I'm not setting up our resource sheet. Let's try and just put this guy here. Let's go to our resource and try and put the category. The compliance guy. Let's put this. Just put it here. So we have management, technical support, admin, commercial support, and compliance. So it's storekeeper and the laborer safely work together. The storekeeper, the laborer, let's make them 2. Yeah. Alright, so let's save our work. Alright, so we are done with setting up our resource sheets. Do you understand? So if you highlight this place and go to your course, nothing has been set up yet. If you highlight, go to your end value, everything is looking good in our end value. Alright, then you go back to our entry, go back to our Gantt chart. You highlight this place, you go to our course on the Gantt charts. Everything is looking fine. No need for alarm. Alright, we're looking fine. We'll now go back to our entry. Today's class we basically set up our the first thing we've accomplished right now is to set up our resource sheet. Okay, set up our resource sheet. Let us now focus on the assigning our different resource. Okay, now so who is going first? Let us highlight this guy. Electrical survey. So you go to your resource here. Well, there are different ways for you to assign resource. Alright, different ways for you to assign resource. Or I think this is one of the ways you double click or triple click this particular place. You go to resource, then you assign your resource over here. But one of the major ways I like to assign resource because of its flexibility and it's allowing me to work with to still okay, one of the reasons why I like this particular resource because of the flexibility one around the different sheets and different screen on the MS project. Do you understand? That's why I like this particular this assigned resource dialog box. Okay, So aside that, let us now move straight to our um assign resource. So we start with our site electrical survey, which is the electrical engineer. So electrical engineer, project manager. All right. So site electrical survey, assign it to design approval, project manager. All right. So now, if you observe from this guy over here is earning $1,200 dollar. Do you understand? So your question might be, how do we get here? How did we get here? How did the project manager earn 1,200? Now, standard working hour for for any project or anything at all is 8 hours. That you should never forget, 8 hours. So if you're working more than 8 hours, definitely means that your company is taking advantage of you. Basically that. So you have 8 hours times 1 times 1,150. So that's 1 2. So how do we get our 8 hours, which is a standard working hour? A standard working hour, 8 hours. Our one means that the day he or she is working is one. Do you understand? Times 150. 150 will have to be 150 is the daily rate we are paying the person, which is this 150 per hour. That is per hour paying him 150. Do you understand? To multiply by 8. That's how we're able to get the $1,200 we are paying the project manager. All right, and that is the same thing with the electrical site electrical surveyor, which is the electrical engineer, and the load calculation. All right, so we're going to do that as well. So the site electrical survey. Now, our electrical engineer is earning 1,400. So let us know how much we're paying him per day. So we're paying him 1,800. We're paying him 180 per hour. All right. So since we're paying the electrical engineer 180 per hour, we just come to this guy here and punch calculator. So basically, um, how much is that again? 480. Yeah. So we just say 8 hours times 1 times 180 to give us our 144, 1,440. That is over here, 1,440. So that is how you're going to calculate every human resource um, P throughout this project. Do you understand? Throughout this project, you calculate every human resource P throughout this project. All right, since we're done with that calculation, let us now move straight to the point. Let's move faster. Yeah, human resource, our material procurement, so basically our procurement officer. So yeah, so quantity surveyor, procurement officer, storekeeper. All right, quantity surveyor, QS. Okay, okay, we're going to see now for this our expector here, there's no cost. There's no cost. Do you understand? Because we're paying him at the end of the project. So if we now go back to our resource, I will now look at how much we are paying this guy. See, we didn't put any cost for him here. No cost for him here. Okay. So we go to our resource. Now we're paying him $160. Do you understand? So we come here, we click 160. Hmm, 160. Now, if you now go back to, sorry, go back to our account sheet, I will go back to our um, final inspection. Let me see, 128. So whatever you are doing in that order sheet, that your research sheet will reflect here. More like MS Project help us actually organized our different documents that we need for the project. Whatever you're doing in number one sheet, sorry, is being on the other sheet for you. Or you can say whatever you're imputing in your first document, it also helping you build up the other document for you simultaneously. So you have to be very, very careful of how you the kind of information you impute and kind of errors you make, because one single error can affect your other documents. Okay. So now we're paying him $128. I believe you know how we got here. All right. Also, this guy, project close out as our project manager. Don't assigning our different human resource to different activities or tasks that need to be accomplished or completed. Do you understand? Do you understand? But don't assigning those different human resource to them. So now our major focus right now is to assign the different materials needed to accomplish each and every phase of the project. Okay, so I think we have to do something here. Just double click. Now this dialog box is out. Then let's change this into 50. I don't know why this is slow. So change it to 50. So you can show us everything we need to know. Oh, 50 is too much. Okay, let's increase it and take us to, so it is fine. It should be fine. Alright, it should be fine. Alright, so we are done with that. So now let us assign our different materials resource that is needed for this project on every single phase that we're about to start. So now looking at the electrical fitting, no, look at this one. Let us go to this place and click our material. So now the first phase is going to is the first phase is the first fix, then wiring, then DB installation, then final fix, then testing. All right. So those are the different phases that we're going to deploy our different materials needed for this project. Okay. So first is the conduit 20 mm PVC conduit pipe, which is 150 quantity. So if you do 150 by 3, so how to calculate your resource, your material resource, all right? So if you do 150 by 3, that is 450. Voila, you got it over here. Also, if you do 35 by 4, that is 140. This is how you calculate your material resource. Okay, and everything here are in USD. Okay, um, so fix. All right. So first fix. So we'll go to our first fix. Marking of electrical points. We don't need cabling. Yeah, we need PVC for that. No, we don't need anything for that. You understand? So we're going to go to our conduit lane and we go back to our assign visitors. Conduit lane, we'll, we have PVC conduit pipe. This over here, then you click 150 because according to the source, the quantity of resource needed is 150 PVC pipe. So click 150 here. This has been assigned to this particular conduit lane, and as you can see, $450, which was the same thing we did in our initial calculation. Also now, junction box. Junction box, we need 35 junction box. Now, this junction box includes our 3 by 3 box, 3 by 6 box. Yes, so 3 by 3 box can be used for two different things. It can either be used for switches or for single sockets. While 3 by 6 box is basically used for double socket, so it can be surface, it can be conduit, depending on how the house is set up. Most people use conduit, not surface conduit patches. Okay, so junction box, I think we have 35. So yeah, 35. Look for your junction box at 35. All right, we're done. So first fix phase. Okay, so now let us go to our distribution board. Now, second phase is the wiring. So we have 1.5 cable. It can be red, black. Basically, 1.5 basically used for lighting. Yeah, for the lighting, which is for the can be 1 GaN switch, can be 2 GaN switch, can be 3 GaN switch, depending on looking at the 1 bedroom apartments. 1 bedroom. So we have 1.5 red and black. Over here, that's 3 red, 3 black, which give us 6. Right. Well, why we have 2.5 cable, which is black, red, and green. 2.5 black, 2.5 red, 2.5 green, which is that means 2 2 1. Green is 1. Okay, so let us do this one. We also have our 6 cable. This is basically used to draw supply into the house. It can be single core. Yeah, single core 6 cable. Since this class is taking longer than expected, so once we are done with our different material resources, we're going to end the class for now, and in our next class we're going to look at the other different activities that is needed for us to do and know why working on any particular project. Right, so let's move faster. So 1.5 1.5 copper cable, we have 6. 1.5 cable pulling, we have 6 over here. Also there we have 5. Okay. Um yes, the 6 we have 2. All right. Okay, done with that. So now our next phase is the earthing kit. Oh, well, in Nigeria, not we don't necessarily earth a 1 bedroom house, except if, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we do that. But standard is supposed to be done to prevent electric shock when there's thunder. So earthing basically arrests your thunder. I think we should just leave it here. Let's face the sound test. So earthing kit. Yeah, 18 kids. There you are. One. Yes, you are done. All right. Yeah, we are done with assigning. We're done assigning our different material. Just different assigning our different material to the different phases needed. That is needed. Also, we've also looked at our we've also look at the assigning our different. First of all, we look at installing or imputing our different human resource, also our different material resource. Then we assign those human resource to the different activities that is needed or that they will be responsible for. Also, we also assigned our or deploy our different materials needed to those individuals and to those necessary phases that is being needed. All right, so since we're done with our assigning of resources, let's now look at our costs. This is the total amount we are spending on costs. All right, so now I look at the planning phases. Planning phase is what we're spending on planning phase. Okay, this is what we're spending on. We're spending $6,960 on our planning and design phase. On our material, procurement page, we're spending $3,040. On first facing phase, we're spending $3,670. On our distribution and board installation, we're spending $6,090. And cable wiring, we're spending $4,965. So are you seeing how everything is working? While on this other guy, on this our handover and documentation, we're spending $5,000. Wow. So basically the lowest amount of money we are spending here is on DB installation. No, not DB installation, that's procurement material, which is $3,400. So are you seeing how you are building up your documents, looking at your different costs? This now us moving to our next this thing, which is cost tracking. All right, so but we'll not dive in depth into it for now. So go back to our entry point. Now go to our resource. Then I want to show you our cost. So now from our resource sheet, you click here, then you highlight cost. Now this is our different cost variance remaining. So what is in our cost is the same thing as it was in the variance and the same thing as what is in remaining. You understand? We've not set up our baseline. We've not looked at our actual cost yet to know what has been done so far and how much it has cost us. Do you understand? We've not started any. We've not started our activities yet. Do you understand? So that is why everything is just like that. So now go to our end value. Now this is our end value. Everything here is as long as we are working and the project is still ongoing. We'll be looking at every single one of these end value management system. You understand? Look at the plan value, look at the end value, look at the actual cost. This is our actual cost here. AC, look at our SV, look at our CV, BAC, base at completion, baseline at completion. Why this is base at completion? Yeah. All right. So I think we're done for today's class, and all right, I think we're done for today's class. So in our next class, we're going to look at setting up our baseline and we start tracking every single activities. Do you understand? Every single activities, every single course on the project. So in that way, we start looking at different terminologies used on MS projects, even as a whole, as a manager. Thank you so much for today's class. So in our next class, we'll know what we're going to look into or look more into, and that will be shared with you all. Thank you so much for your time. And don't forget to do like and subscribe this channel if this content was very educative and useful to you. All right, see ya.